उन्होंने भी तो कुछ नहीं खाया होगा।
तेरे ही है हम, तेरे ही है, तेरे ही है।
This brought back so many memories. Last year, this video gave me the idea to host iftar for my neighbors, and today, let's do it again. Laxmi hai na, so I know exactly where to start. Let's go Ramadan shopping for some Laxmi ingredients. I'm making a few dishes that I know my neighbors are going to love, and I'm going to be picking up Laxmi extra long grain basmati rice for my rice dish. This has the most long and fluffy rice grains. Then I'm picking up the best ginger garlic paste because I got 2.5 times more compared to competitor brands, and it has the homemade flavor that I love. And I will also need besan, which is a split chickpea lentil flour, and it will make for some amazing appetizers that I'll share later. And in addition, I picked up frozen Punjabi samosas as appetizers as well, and these had more in them than its counterpart brands. I picked up frozen naans to make my life easier and get that restaurant style at home. And I also got tamarind and date chutney as the sauce, and some frozen green peas that I'll be using for the rice dish. I also noticed an array of other ingredients that Laxmi has, such as spices, sauces, and so much more. And they can also be found in other local supermarkets if you don't have an Indian supermarket near you. So now that I'm back from the store and I have all my ingredients for today's Ramadan iftar feast for my neighbors, I'm really excited to show you what I'll be making today. First, I'm going to be making my spinach and potato pakoras. Pakoras are an Indian, Pakistani, and Bangladeshi fritters. They're fried in hot oil and they are super crispy because they are made with 100% besan flour. And besan translates to a gram flour that is made with pure 100% chana dal. And chana dal is the split chickpea lentil that you can use for lentil stews. But as a powder form, you can use it for these fritters and they come out super crispy and flavorful, and it's just the perfect way to break your fast during Ramadan. And then next I'll be making my Matar Pulao. The word Matar literally translates to green peas, and pulao is a beautiful fragrant dish cooked in a lot of onion, and it has a lot of aromatic flavors. And lastly, the main dish for today is going to be my chicken ginger, which is going to be made with the Laxmi ginger garlic paste. I was also able to get additional items like this garlic naan, which is going to go so well with the ginger chicken. And also to start off with the pakoras, I'm going to make Laxmi Punjabi samosas, which are really flavorful and they are filled with potato filling. So everything will just all tie in together really well for this iftar for my neighbors. So now let me show you how I use Laxmi products in all of my cooking for today's iftar. I'll be using this besan, which is made of 100% split chickpea flour. It's the most versatile besan, which can be used for sweets and savory dishes. It's also gluten-free and it will be perfect for my pakoras. I'll start off with 2 cups of besan in a large bowl. And to this, I'm adding half a teaspoon of red chili powder, 1 teaspoon of coriander powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin powder and seeds, half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, and then salt to taste. And then mix the spices into the besan really well till they are all incorporated. Add water to this. I'm starting off with 1 cup of water while whisking that in there. And this is supposed to be a thick batter. I added another 3/4 cup or so you're going to need less than 2 cups, and combined it well. This is the consistency of the batter that you're looking for. And now I'm going to add the other ingredients like sliced onions. I have 1 small potato that I sliced thinly, and then a small bunch of fresh spinach that is cut thinly as well. Mix this all together into the batter till it's combined really well, and the veggies are coated with that besan batter. And now this pakora batter is all done. I have oil for frying in a pot here that I was heating up, and once the oil is hot, you're going to drop spoonfuls of this pakora batter in there, and the pakoras will float up on their own. Make sure the oil is quite hot here for frying. These will be rustic and each one will have its own irregular shape, but that's the beauty of homemade foods. Fry these till they are a light to medium golden brown, and toss them on each side as needed so they get that nice rich color. And once they are that nice golden color, I'm gonna take them out on a tray with a rack so they stay crispy all over. Keep making the other batches just like the first one, and all the other batches cook much quicker, so make sure to keep an eye on them. I like to sprinkle a touch of salt on them after cooking. And here are all of my pakoras. I can't wait to try these with my neighbors, and they look so crispy and wonderful. For my pulao, I'll be using the most consistent basmati rice, which I switched over to a few years ago. It has never disappointed me. Its long and fluffy grains cook perfectly every single time. I will be using 2 cups of rice today, and I'm going to wash this first. You want to rinse the rice till the water runs clear, so it will take a few washes here. Rinsing your rice first ensures a better taste at the end. And once the water is clear, let the rice soak in very little water for at least 25 to 30 minutes. I'm going to heat up a medium-sized pot as the rice is soaking. Add a few tablespoons of oil as needed, and once the oil heats up, add 2 onions that I have roughly sliced here, and let these cook till they get a medium to dark brown color. The reason to cook these till they are brown is so we can add color to the rice. It's a natural method to add color and the most aromatic flavor to pulao. This will take at least about 10 minutes to brown, but keep stirring so the onions don't burn on one side only. And once the onions are medium brown, I am adding a teaspoon of cumin seeds to add additional flavor. If I added this earlier, they would burn really quickly and add bitterness to the rice. Once the onions are this medium to dark color, add a few tablespoons of water and cover it with the lid really quickly so it doesn't splatter everywhere. The water will help release the color of the caramelized onions, and then mix it well. And then I'll be adding the Laxmi frozen green peas that I always keep in my freezer that are still fresh and green, and then I'm tossing those around with everything else. Once everything is mixed well, I'm adding 4 cups of water at this point, and for every cup of rice you need 2 cups of water to cook basmati rice, so it's a 2-to-1 ratio. I'm also adding black pepper to taste here, and also salt to taste, and I did not oversalt this. Mix it up till it's well combined and let this come to a full boil. And once it comes to a full boil, add in the 2 cups of rice that was soaking for about 30 minutes and gently mix it in the water that is flavored with the onions and peas, and then let it come to another boil. Once the boil happens, lower the heat to like medium-low and then cover it to cook till most of the water is evaporated. This will take about 15 minutes. After about 15 minutes or so, you can see that most of the water is gone, but there still is some at the bottom. And at this point, I'm going to gently toss the rice around a little bit so it cooks evenly all over. And then cover again and put it on low heat for 10 minutes to let it cook in its own steam. And after 10 minutes, you can see all the water has evaporated. The rice has cooked in its own steam, and just fluff it around a little bit. You can see how kila or fluffy this rice looks. And now this Matar pulao is done, so we can move on to the next dish. Let's make the chicken ginger, and I'm going to be heating up a wok, or you can use a pot, and add a few tablespoons of oil as you need to cook with it. Add in 1 chopped onion when the oil heats up, and let this cook till it's translucent. As the onion is cooking, I'm adding a little bit of julienne fresh ginger, and gradually I'll be adding more as the dish cooks, and mix it well together so they both can release aromatic flavors. And now I'll be adding the Laxmi ginger garlic paste, which is made with real ginger and garlic with no dehydrated powders. It brings out the best in home cooked curries, biryanis, and marinades. It's fresh and aromatic, exactly how I make it at home. It also has 2.5 times more than other brands. I used 2 heaping tablespoons of this ginger garlic paste because I really want to enhance the flavor of this chicken ginger. Mix it all up together and then add the chicken. I have 2 breasts and 5 boneless thighs that I cut into large chunks, and let this cook till all its juices have evaporated and the oil has released. This obviously takes some time, but as the chicken cooks, the aromatics will really give it that flavor base that I want. Once you see the chicken is starting to get caramelized, it means its own juices are mostly gone. And now let's add 4 tomatoes that are roughly chopped, and then mix everything up. The tomatoes will start to break down with the heat. And then let's add the spices. I have half a teaspoon of turmeric, 1 teaspoon of red chili powder, 1 teaspoon of coriander powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin powder, and I'm adding a bit more ginger here again just to add more flavor of ginger. Mix it all up so the chicken is coated in those wonderful spices. Adjust any spices as you need here to your own taste. And then I added salt to my taste, which was about 2 teaspoons or so, and combine everything really well, and then cover and let it cook for 10 minutes. After a few minutes, toss everything together, and the color of this sauce already is looking so rich and deep. I will add 2 tablespoons of yogurt here for some creaminess, and mix it well so it's combined with everything. And then add 2 green chilies. I'm using the Indian green chilies, but I de-seeded them as they were too hot for my liking. And then I'm adding more fresh ginger again, and saving some for garnish later. And also add a little coriander leaves or cilantro for contrast. Mix it all up really well, and I'm gonna let this cook on high heat and covered for another 5 to 10 minutes. And after about 10 minutes, this is what the chicken ginger will look like. Top it off with some fresh ginger again and cilantro for garnish. And the chicken ginger is all done now and looks too good. I also loved decorating my dining table with Ramadan decor. The accents of gold and the Ramadan symbols really brought the ambiance of this special night together. I plated all the foods in special dinnerware for the best presentation. I have the frozen samosas from Laxmi. I have my crispy spinach and potato pakoras looking so good, paired with Laxmi tamarind and date chutney and a mint yogurt chutney. My super flavorful and aromatic Matar Pulao, which is a green peas rice dish. The frozen naans from Laxmi that look just like restaurant style but at home, and my main dish, which is that chicken ginger with so much aromatic flavor of that ginger. And we cannot forget the dates and sweet treats for the table as well. Here is my beautiful spread of foods that I made today, from appetizers and starters to main and side dishes like rice and naan, along with treats to end the night. Laxmi made it so easy for me to prep and cook with, and because Laxmi ingredients are readily available in any local Indian supermarket, it was just so easy to make everything for my neighbors and family to share a beautiful night together. I could not be happier with how everything turned out. So that is it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed my Ramadan feast and iftar for my neighbors with Laxmi. Is Ramadan mein Laxmi hai na? Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe before leaving. And leave me a comment to let me know if you enjoyed today's video. Happy Ramadan to all of you observing. I'll be seeing you in the next one, guys. Until then, take care of yourselves.